So, if you grew up in a toxic or just narcissistic household and you experience maybe abuse, or you even have PTSD or complex PTSD related to that experience, you'll have certain behaviors that you developed in that environment that helped you survive. So, you need to be grateful for those parts of you because they served you well. They kept you safe. However, once you get older and you're able to leave that environment, you no longer need those patterns of behavior, and you have to learn to leave them behind. You have to learn to grieve the person or the versions of you that kept you alive. And a lot of these patterns, they're basically trauma responses. It's a fawn trauma response where you learn to read other people. You learn to read their body language, and you learn to try to predict what kind of mood they're in. And based upon what kind of mood they're in, you will learn to try to get them in a better mood, per se, because you were trying to avoid things. And you could do other things, such as constantly apologizing. Hell, you were blamed for stuff growing up, so might as well take the responsibility for it head on if somehow maybe it helps appease the situation later down the line. Well, a lot of this stuff, it served you when you were a kid, but you no longer need it. So your job is, when you're an adult and you're no longer in that environment, but also let me remind you, it's very important you get out of the environment when you can, because you can't heal from in the very environment that broke you. It's very hard. I'm sure it can be done, but it's you need to get away. But you're going to have to look at these outside situations, these certain patterns of behavior, almost from a third-party point of view. You're going to need to get some sort of journal. Journaling is going to help you tremendously. Writing out, say you were at work and, I don't know, stuff went down, or I don't know, maybe you just felt threatened somehow. And by the time you got off work, you felt so on edge. Take your journal out. Write what happened. Okay, I remember this happened, and then I went in this and this. Because, so when things happened when you were young, or you went through something traumatic, there was a trigger, and this trigger caused your brain to assign a meaning to it. So, hey, mom got mad. And when mom got mad, she either hit me, or, you know what I mean? She hit me, she blamed me for stuff, and it got very bad. So you learn to assign, hey, person A is mad. That means I'm going to get hurt. Well, when you're out in the real world, that definition and that belief isn't always true. So once you have enough evidence to support the fact that somebody getting upset, I'm going to get hurt, is not true, you can start to erase that and rewrite it. The brain is beautiful. You can rewrite different belief systems in your brain, but a lot of it it's subconscious. You don't even realize you have it. That's why you have to get in there deep to really get down to what is going on. So like I said, it's the trigger, and then you have a meaning. Oh my God, in the past when this happened, it was very bad. And so I go into this trauma response where you could freeze up, you could fawn, you can run, you can fight. There's several different. And depending on what it is, you're going to go into that trauma response. I know I was very familiar with the freeze and the fawn. And you can have several. It doesn't just have to be one. But you have to really get down and dig deep. And you could have even a lot of generational beliefs that aren't correct, that somehow you have to break in regards maybe to money. Maybe you grew up in a household where money was tight, And now that, you're grown up, you could have more money. So when you do stuff maybe that, you didn't really get to do a lot as a kid, you may say, wait, can I do this? Even per se for vacation. If you grew up and your parents struggled with money, you probably didn't go on vacation a lot. So when you're an adult and you have your own kids and you want to take them on a vacation, there may be some sort of programming or some sort of all these beliefs that, wait, am I okay to do this? Is it okay? Do I have enough? And then you start to like, oh my gosh, what if, you're going to have to work through that. And you're going to have to break through that. And a lot of that is on the subconscious level. But you can rewrite that. And let me tell you something that I've learned is that just because something kind of scares me doesn't mean it's a bad thing for me. A lot of times the nervous system will think that something that is unfamiliar is not safe, and that is not the case. So even in my own experience of using my pain and turning it into purpose to help others, there was a part of me that was like, oh my gosh, am I okay to be seen? Typically, if somebody is out there and they're seen, like everybody can see them, that's usually something dangerous. When you're seen, you can potentially be a target. But with consistent action, I'm working through all those beliefs. And I have enough evidence where I'm like, last time I did that, wow, that really wasn't that bad. And I'm building new neural pathways in my brain. Like I'm rewriting everything. So I know that I have a pen in my hand and that I no longer have to accept the story that other people projected onto me. I can write whatever the hell I want because I realize that I'm in control of my life and my destiny and all right, I'll try to watch my language, but what the hell I decide to do next. And I will no longer people please, fawn. And I also won't waste all my energy trying to prove a point to other people who are just determined just to either they want to argue with you, they just don't want to understand you. It's not my job to make everybody agree with what I believe, or it's not my job to make everybody see or experience or to show them what it was like for me growing up. It's not my job. I really don't care. I know that I want to help other people because I want to show them that they can heal this. Just because you have complex PTSD doesn't mean you have to live with this for the rest of your life. It is not a sentence. You are not determined, and that does not it does not put a label on you. You're not broken. Nobody's broken. You can experience life in such beautiful ways. I choose to believe that life always works out for me, that everything is working out in my favor. And even if something seems kind of, oh my gosh, like I don't know what's going to happen. Say you lose your job. I'm like, well, damn, I can't wait to see what the hell I turn out of this. Like, because it's going to be beautiful because I know it's going to be. Because also, too, when you've done a lot of work and you go inside and you do a lot of healing, you realize that people manifest every day. But the problem is they don't realize they're doing it and they end up manifesting the very things that they don't want. They do because they so focus on it. Where you give your attention and your focus is really where you give your power, where you give your energy. And the universe, it doesn't care about, oh, well, she wants this. No, it cares about what you're focusing on. It supports you unconditionally. But the thing is, people don't have a good control of up here. Once you gain control of this and realize that your life can be so beautiful and magical, then it just is. I don't know. Keep your head up, guys.